What is holiness? And is it shall we say, a commodity, a goal that can actually be accomplished? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 2-Minute Torah, Day 5, Acharei after the death. And today we focus on Kedoshim, the set-apart ones, going to Vayikra or Leviticus chapter number 19. Verse 1 reads, And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say to them, Be set apart, for I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am set apart. The Hebrew reads here, Deber kol adat b'nei Israel. You speak to all congregation of sons of Israel. A more word-by-word literal translation. You speak to all congregation of sons of Israel. From that we can determine that we are either Israel or we're not. Walking according to the Torah, keeping his commands, taking on a Hebraic viewpoint and vantage point in study of Scripture, being transformed, as Ephesians chapter 2 says, no longer goyim, but now we are in the covenant that Yah gave to Israel by Messiah Yeshua, who's torn down the separating wall between those who are Israel and those who are not. That is, that as Romans 11 says, when we believe in Messiah Yeshua, then we become grafted in to the olive tree of Israel. And as the book of Galatians teaches, if you are in Messiah, then you are Abraham's seed. These things being true, then, we are no longer Gentiles or Goyim or of the nations. We are people of Israel, perhaps taking on the identity as being Hebrews, not replacing anybody, especially those who are Jewish, who are very, very much the Hebrew people and very much of the nation of Israel. But we are joined along with. If we are then Israel, we are obligated to walk according to the Torah and its commands. We are not allowed to grocery shop the Torah, as we were trained to say, not cart but buggies. So I take a buggy and go down the grocery store aisle, and I pick from the aisle the things on either side that I want and fill up my buggy. We are not allowed to do that in the Torah. Go in and say, well, I like this command and I don't want that command, and I'll take 2 of these and none of those. We're not allowed to do that. It's all for us as it would variously apply to whatever station and role of life we have. If we desired then to be the restored house of Israel and be prepared as a people to receive Messiah Yeshua upon his return to establish his kingdom upon the earth, which will be ruled and reigned over by the word of the Torah, then we need to be practicing the Torah now, learning kingdom values by applying his word. So the command is given to us as members of Bnei Israel. Again, the Hebrew reads here, Kedoshim tehu ki kadosh ani Yahweh Elohechem. More literal word-for-word translation is, set apart ones you shall become, as I am set apart, Yahweh Elohim of you. Set apart ones you shall become. So set apartness, or what we would call holiness, is Yah's desire for his people. But what in the world is holiness? And that's a misstatement there. Holiness is not of this world. How do we define holiness? What is it? Whatever holiness is, we know and understand that it is the very essence of Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, our Creator. It's inescapable from him. He is holiness. Holiness is Yahweh. They're inseparable. And we are to be commanded to be holy or set apart, kadosh, in Hebrew, as he is. Now we may consider the idea of being set apart by the power of his word. And certainly the reading and applying of the word goes long ways in setting us apart. By loving him to obey the word, not just do it out of responsible behavior or out of pure expectation or out of compliance with this renewed religious culture, but rather out of a loving obedience to him. And there is a grand difference. Beyond that, then, is also then loving each other. Perhaps that's the tallest order of those three, is that holiness requires us to love each other. Now, we're not talking, obviously, about the gooey, passionate love that we have for our spouses and for our inner family and that type of thing, but there needs to be a strong brotherly, sisterly bond of love among the members of Yah's body. And it needs to be perceivable, not token, but a well-meaning handshake or hug or greeting or encouragement or phone call or text, whatever, however the love is communicated, that it moves from us theoretically to actually being received practically. It's a tall order at times. So then the question might be asked, well, when we get born again and we take on the Messiah's identity and we're lost in him, actually, are we not then automatically declared to be holy, to be kadosh? Certainly, Yeshua is indeed kadosh, holy, set apart. But in practical terms, though we wear the badge, it doesn't mean that we are skilled behind the badge. That is, that we may have an identity as being of such in the spirit realm, being, again, found in Messiah. We are not in the spirit realm per se. We're still walking it out in the physical realm. And in this physical realm, we need to learn to apply set apartness. Okay, so enough hinting. What is set apartness? It is the state of not being common. Being set apart is the state, the place, the walk that is not common. There's nothing sinful in being common. Common things are all around us. We live in many respects a common lifestyle. Our day-to-day routine, our responsible family matters, taking care of our property, all of these things, financial responsibility, good business practices, all of this stuff is common. And there's nothing sinful about that. And Yah encourages us to be good citizens, to be good family members, to be good community members. All of that's important. But that which is common can also be elevated. As we have learned in the making of the offerings, one would choose a common animal, the best common animal that they have. But once it's taken and placed at the altar and then put upon the altar, that animal has been elevated to now that which is extremely set apart. So is our lives. Even in the common practice of living, if we do it as unto Yah, it is elevated, and we ourselves elevated with it. Something to ponder. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Thank you so much for your prayers, for your kind comments, for emails, for text messages, for comments on the videos, for likes, thumbs up, for subscriptions, even financial support at remnantofisrael.com. So thank you for all of that. Shabbat Shalom. May the presence of the King be with you, and we'll see you again next week. Until then, Shabbat Shalom.